What's up everyone? Welcome back to another video with the Hawk's Nest. Thanks for clicking on this video. As you can see today, I'm in my garage. A little different video going on today. Actually, before we get to this video, I have a trailer I let people use and I'm unloading it because I had some stuff in there for winter, but people want to use it. So of course I'm going to help them out, get that stuff out of there so they can use it. But today, people often wonder what it's like to be a real estate agent. They're curious about wanting to become a realtor, what is all involved with it. So this video, actually, I want to just share how I got into the real estate industry, how it's been, what I've done, along with the good and bad of this, because until you're in this, you have no idea what to expect. So before we get back into the office, I really want to just highlight my sponsors too on my trailer. Shout out to obviously my brokerage. I'm just affiliated with them, so I have to have it on there. KW Realty Diversify. We got Ryan with RC Home Inspections. Ryan, my go-to home inspector in the area. Shout out to him. We have Royal Credit Union, local lender here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. RCU, phenomenal job with lending. They do awesome work there. And then All Title Services, one of my go-to title companies in the area. They do killer job with title work, and they're all about preparing the deed for transfer and everything when it comes to selling and buying a home. So shout out to All Title Services. Another thing too, I realized I don't think I've ever shown you guys the trailer. So I'm gonna really quick highlight this. So you can see this was a life dream of mine, a life goal. When I got into the real estate industry, this was one of the first things I wanted to do was get my trailer done. So I got my trailer then, it took about a year, got it all wrapped, and truthfully, without the sponsors and everything, I would not have gotten this done or gotten where I wanted to be. So really shout out to all them. So now I'm done with the trailer, let's get to the video. All right, everyone, we're in the office here. Let's jump right into this video. Real estate, good, bad, who's it for? Is it the right fit for you? How I got started in real estate, and it's kind of a funny story. So I was a mechanic before I switched careers. So right then and there, if you want to get into real estate, prime example, it doesn't matter what you've done in the past, you can always get into something if you really put your heart into it. But my boss at the time, his wife actually recommended that I might give real estate a shot. And when I was a tech working on cars and everything, I'd be waiting for parts to be delivered, things like that. I was bored in the back of, the shop, trying to wait on parts, things like that. So I took the initiative and started learning how to, answer phones and bill out customers, write up estimates, interact with customers. And I've always naturally kind of liked speaking with people, interacting with people and things like that. They say make your hobby your career, and I did that. And one day I was just rolling out, I did a quick tire repair or something, and she's like, why don't you give real estate a shot? You'd maybe be good at it. It might be a right fit. You know what? I'm gonna do it. So I went home and talked to my girlfriend, who is now my wife. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. I don't have any children. I don't have any significant debt right now. We were renting. Now's the time to do it if I'm going to. So I was just like, you know what? Let's order the course online. So there's a course online, the WRA, that's for Wisconsin Realtor Association. I ordered the class that night, and for the next month, it was nonstop. I was 8 to 5 at my shop, 5 to 10. I was working on getting my real estate license. So once I passed the course, you get your certificate of completion with that. Then you have to go take the state test at one of the testing facilities. I had to wait, I think, couple weeks, something like that. So I took those 2 weeks to study, make sure I knew the material, took the test and passed. Then after you have that, then the DSPS, state of Wisconsin, they have to review your application, things like that, make sure that, you don't have any major criminal convictions, yada, yada. So had my real estate license and I was ready to be affiliated with a brokerage, but I couldn't start right away. I was actually under contract with the shop that I was working with. I got my license in February. My last day was April 12th, 2019. I've heard from some people good advice where don't have a plan B. This is definitely a full-time position, like doing it part-time and doing it as a hobby. I do not recommend it. Other than that, you should be doing this full-time without question. April 13th, first day on the job. When I was introducing myself, they asked why did I get into real estate, and I just, I said I was looking for a change of pace, and I wanted to be able to control my own time and have my weekends back. And that's when everyone laughed, because I learned very quickly you have to sacrifice a lot of personal time getting started in this industry. I'd say first 2-3 years, it was nonstop work. I have now implemented a rule in my business where Sundays I do not work unless it is a dire emergency. We are not robots, we're human beings, and we have to have a personal life. I do not want to work my life away every single day, but starting out, your Saturdays, your Sundays, they're gone. You have to really devote them to your clients if you want to be successful. That's when I realized all the hats that a realtor truly wears. I would say probably 20% of your time is actually spent showing houses, writing contracts. You are not a real estate agent, you're a marketing agent. You need to market yourself. When you are getting started, like, no one knows you. No one knows you're in the business, no one knows you're in the game. You have to manage your own expenses. You have to be able to do your own books. You have to track your expenses. You gotta know profit and loss, things like that. You need to know your numbers. And this goes without saying here, but you're a manager of your own time. You really need to be fully committed, dive in and commit to this job. Big thing there, you can always have an accountability partner or partner with someone, your mentor, and ask them to hold you accountable. That's a great tool and an idea that I did right away. You have to maintain your transactions throughout the whole process, start to finish. There are transaction coordinators out there, like I work with one where she helps manage my files, things like that, because it's all about leveraging your time and getting your time back. And so I did it right away. But then eventually I got busy. You know, the longer you're in this business, the more clients you should be getting, the more deals you should be doing. So that's why I hired a transaction coordinator to help me. In my current brokerage, we have a nice system in place where she helps me with my files. It's nice. She does some things to help me on the paperwork side. Things that are really, they're important, but in my time is better spent elsewhere. So that was my biggest epiphany through all of this and biggest takeaway. It is not just showing homes as an agent. You are doing so much more. But how this career has affected me positively. So biggest thing, I control my income. That can be a pro and a con, but controlling your own income, being commission-based, I feel like that is a really great way to get ahead in life. Really get out what you put in. I mean, if I'm busy running around like crazy, I should have a good month, you know, but not always too. Sometimes you're working with people for months, years even. I had helped someone that was waiting for 2 years to buy. So you sometimes aren't paid immediately. It's really an investment of time. Like I said before, you need to be accountable for your own time and hold yourself accountable, but I have flexibility. So for example, Miko here. Today, I gotta go get him a nail trimming done really quick. If I was at a 9-5, wouldn't be as easy to do that. I can take a quick 30 minutes, go do that, makes my life easier. But again, holding myself accountable, I've been doing other things throughout the day to get my work done where I can do that. Big thing there too is time blocking. A lot of the big name successful people, they preach about time blocking and sticking with it. So that's a big thing that you can do if you are not so good with time management. And lastly, the potential for the future careers in this game. You can just be an agent and continue to sell throughout your years and have a very successful career. You could also be a broker. So like in my case, I actually obtained my broker's license. So if I wanted to go out and start my own company, I could. And if you want to have a team and leverage things out as far as showing things like that, there are a lot of successful real estate teams out there. Being a team has its pros and cons as well. I started on a team, definitely realized that I was meant to be a solo agent. If I were to ever have a team, I would be the team lead on it. Now let's talk about the flip side and the negative things. Stress. Stress is the biggest one, I would say. You having to control your own time and all these hats that you wear. I have gained a ton of gray hairs and I'm 28. From being in this career. You are always on the clock. Really having a full-time career is what I always encourage. There are people that do it part-time too though. Here's the thing that I have with part-time agents where it's tough. I just think, how can you successfully provide that exceptional service that as a real estate agent you should be doing when you are working 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock and maybe some weekends? It's just tough. Like really servicing your clients as best as possible involves being full-time. Giving away your Monday through Friday and then weekends too starting out is going to be a big thing. Another huge one that I really struggle with is people do not appreciate what realtors do. That's the hard truth in this career, and you got to be able to accept that and take that. and try to provide just an amazing experience for your clients to try and change that thought. And lastly, I mentioned it earlier, but you don't get paid if it doesn't close. So if you're doing a transaction and the deal falls apart, you're not getting paid at all for that until you get them another house and they close. That's something you really have to be okay with, and budgeting is going to be your best friend. So you need to have the savings ready to go right away to kind of bridge that gap. A good number for savings, just so you know, I would say you probably honestly want to have about 10 grand. When you get started, you have the application fees, state license, you have to take the, the state test, annual dues with your MLS. There's just endless things that come up on a day-to-day basis that you don't even think about when you get into this career right away that you're gonna have to pay. You wanna lose that money as slowly as possible. It's not losing it, it's investing it. You're investing your money into your business, but you wanna lose as little as possible, of course. So when I had $7,000 to my name, of course I'm preaching 10. Really, you should have more than 10. If you have more than 10, that'd be even better, but 10 would be that number. But when I had like $7,000, I was doing all very minimal things like door knocking, investing a little money here and there and that. A big one though, social media. That's like the biggest thing in this day and age, and that's why I do video here. People love social media, they interact with it all the time, and it's free. I mean, this day and age, that's what this world is becoming, and it's all about is social media. You could do potential giveaways, and I'm gonna put an asterisk by that statement. There's certain things you have to follow, but check your state and talk to your broker about that too. But technically giveaways here, there's rules that we have to follow in the state of Wisconsin. And that's a prime example too of something. You need to actually follow the rules, laws, regulations, learn all of that stuff when you get into this business, and make sure you're not doing anything wrong, because getting sued nowadays seems super easy to do. It's a dime a dozen to file a lawsuit. And the big question I want to answer for you guys is, if I could go back in time, what would I have done differently? And that would have started out with more money. So the $7,000, I mean, I got by, it was fine. I had very low expenses. I was preparing myself to really live off ramen noodles. 10 grand in Wisconsin, I think could get you by, but depends where you live. Another one, interview multiple brokerages. So when I got started learning more information about their fees, how much it's going to cost to actually be affiliated with the brokerage, things like that. Also, you learn a lot about their culture and if it's a right fit for you. People are willing to interview you, and brokerages do want to talk to you. You just need to make sure you're showing your value too, and show them what you're going to bring to the table. And lastly, I would have spent a ton more time, energy with advertisements, with social media. I mean, this day and age, it seems like it's not hard to go viral as long as you have great content. So pour your time, energy, money into that. So recapping everything that we just went over, is it worth being a real estate agent? I'm gonna say yes and no, truthfully. Yes, in the sense of I can control my time, the possibilities with the career and the opportunity to make money, it's there. And without real estate, honestly, I wouldn't be where I am today without it. No, if you're someone who's not good with time, you're gonna stress and worry about money constantly, you're not willing to put in the time and energy it takes to be a real estate agent. If you're not doing it full time, I think you're just hurting yourself, and honestly, you're just gonna lose money. Some people don't realize that you are running a business when you're an agent. It's not just going and showing homes. Like, I'm spending money trying to create a brand for myself and my business. So if you're not going to really do what it takes and invest the time, energy, I don't think it's a good fit, and I don't think you should do it. And I wanna protect your money, and that's the honest truth. Like I said, this is raw. There's gonna be people that are gonna say, yep, do it without a heartbeat, it's the greatest thing ever. They never talk about the bad, and that's why I wanted to do this video. There's good, there is a lot of good in real estate, don't get me wrong, but there is a lot of bad if you are not going to invest the time to do it. So I really hope that helped in a sense. If you've been gauging interest of getting into the real estate industry, everyone has their big goals and their big ambitions. Real estate, I want to be an investor and I want to have multiple rental properties, things like that. But eventually I would love to get out of selling and start my German Shepherd farm. That is one of my big goals in life, having a German Shepherd farm. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and it was informational and you got something out of it. That's the biggest thing, and the most important thing to me is to provide value to you. Thank you guys for clicking on my latest video. It really means the world to me that you
you took time out of your day to watch it. If you found this content informational and valuable, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is how I gauge what you want me to bring to the table and what's important to you guys. And this is what keeps me going. So until the next video, I really appreciate you stopping in at the Hawk's Nest, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.